What's up, everybody? Jaxxsin here, and amidst doing our video last night, me and Chubbs, we recorded a video last night about the Dark Souls label, Souls-like label. Is it good? Is it bad? Whatever. We're gonna redo it because I woke up this morning to actually edit the recording. It was a long recording, about an hour and a half of us talking. Woke up to edit it all together. I've got plenty of footage. We just recorded pretty much an entire playthrough. Woke up to record it. The audio was corrupted somehow. It sucks. Whatever. We're moving on. We'll do it again. Just as good, if not better, because we're good like that. And if you don't know, it was a trail, and that's what we're going to do today. And this is one that actually comes from Rags again. I follow him on Twitter. I'll have a link to it below, and his YouTube channel. He's an excellent fucking YouTuber. He's delivering great content. He's, in my opinion, he's fighting against the right kind of things. He's not one of those people that's they get this reputation, these people that are doing things against like these political correctnesses and all this bullshit, right? The PC police, the social justice warriors, there's people that are doing things against them and they get lumped into these extremes, and Rags isn't an extreme. He's just a reasonable thinker who kind of breaks apart their arguments reasonably, right? So he shared a link, and it was a rock paper shotgun article about a skip boss fight button. And it's like, now that Ubisoft, because Assassin's Creed, the new one, Origins, it's going to have a complete just tour mode where you're able to go around through the game world without any enemies, without any boss fights, without any missions. Like, it's just so you can go around and explore and do all the parkour shit, climbing stuff. I'm not opposed to this idea, right, by the way. But that leads into this guy, and he's saying the skip a boss fight button. There needs to be a skip boss fight button. And the problem I have, and I'll have a link to this article too. The problem I have with this article is it goes to extremes. It says that if you're opposed to the idea of, in the middle of a game, hitting a boss fight and being able to choose to just completely pass over that boss, if you're opposed to that, you're someone who's an exclusionary. You don't want other people to enjoy the game. Like, you're an asshole. It's us versus them. And this is the thing I love, is he always tries to put it on like it's us that's doing it. It's the people who are like, we're opposed to this argument. And they always do this, these fucking people. And it's just annoying because it shows a lack of empathy. It shows a lack of understanding. And it shows on your part that you're just as hard-headed as the extremes that you're lumping everyone with a counter argument into. And that's why I don't like this article. Like, I'm not opposed to the idea of a skip boss fight button, right? I'm opposed to it in that sense. Okay. Now, when I immediately saw this article, I trailed into a game that I see walks the line between a casual gamer friendly and a fucking, hardcore gamer friendly. That's The Witcher 3. I feel like it does it well. I feel like if you play on casual mode, it's so easy that the game essentially plays itself in combat. You could just tap square, square, square. You're never going to get hit enough to die. If you land a handful of clean dodges in the middle of a 10-minute fight, you're going to be okay. Like, you'll never die. You'll always have healing. Like, it's very easy. And that's fine, because that's for the people who don't want an extreme sort of combat experience. They just want to experience the story. They want to role play as Geralt. They want to go through, the town and talk to all these interesting NPCs and like fill the world. And that's fucking awesome, because The Witcher 3 delivers on that very fucking well. And I find it cool that then you got the Death March and the Bloody and Broken Bones, and like the harder, like there's 4 or 5 different levels of difficulty in that game. I'm unsure. I've only played the last 2. I started on Blood and Broken Bones. It was the perfect amount of challenge for me as new to the Witcher series, to be able to grasp it, right? Then I played it through on Death March because I just wanted to play it again and make different choices and see what happened with what ending I could get and things. And so, and it was even more hard, but it was a step up in difficulty that was reasonable, having played through it on Blood and Broken Bones. So so I'm opposed to the idea that at any point during The Witcher 3, a player should just be able to say, no, I don't want to do this fight, because that's important. But I'm not opposed to making it an easier option for players who are less skilled.
Right.
You know what I mean? But to say that anyone against this argument, because I'm against your argument. Overall, overwhelmingly, the way you portray it, the way you try to, come across as like the moral authority on it, and
right.
how people who are against your argument are just doing it for exclusionary purposes. We just don't want gamers to enjoy our hobby, or it's not like
using
that.
terms like it lets the riffraff in if you oppose to this because you don't want newcomers to play games.
He's saying like we don't want the riffraff in, and that's bullshit, because like my buddy Killplix, I'll link to his channel below. He's a great streamer, fucking awesome guy. When he saw, and he's like the most elitist gamer I know.
Right.
Okay, that's why I'm using him as an example. He's the most elitist gamer I know. Where he's kind of, you could kind of call him a snob about it.
Right.
It's kind of like Matt with his music. You know what I mean? It's just, this is my, thing I know the most, and it's not, when he found out I bought Dark Souls, I mean, he knew I was going to get my ass kicked. He knew I was going to die over and over again until I finally beat the game and mastered it. He knew that. But he was like, good, man. And I told him the reason I had liked Bloodborne so much is because of the boss fights. He's like, you're in for a treat. Like, those boss fights are super fun. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna really like it, dude. That's not exclusionary. And he is, like I said, the most elite gamer that I personally know.
Oh, yeah.
That I have met, that I have talked to about it. Like, he is the closest thing. And that's not exclusionary.
No.
Exclusionary would have been him discouraging me from getting it. Right. Saying, oh, you're going to die fucking so many times. You're going to fucking hate it, dude.
I enjoy that game.
Yeah.
You
wouldn't like it. Like, I don't think you would like it, bro. Like, no.
Yeah.
He was like, no, check it out. Like, if you like the boss fights in Bloodborne, just wait, bro. Like, and it's true, because the boss fights are fucking awesome in the Souls series. And to think that this guy's argument, if he had his way, that in Dark Souls, when you hit, Anor Londo finally, and you get to Ornstein and Smaug, and there's just this brick fucking wall of flesh and fucking lightning in front of you. And imagine if at a certain point you died, or, it just like said, do you want to just skip this? You can just skip this. You can see the cutscene at the end, or in the middle, and you will show you that when they die, and you can see Guinevere, and you can, get the power to teleport, and all of these things that are like, just, oh man. Like, I finally made it to a point where I'm seeing some meaningful fucking shit.
Yeah.
But should they just give that to him?
No. Because the thing is this person who's writing this article, okay, he is also presenting this argument from the perspective of, I don't like boss fights, right?
Well,
so
he says
he doesn't...
He did say that. He says he likes most, but he finds most boss fights are just there as like to be a challenge for a gamer.
Right.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
It's a video game.
I'm sorry, the game's origins started with challenging yourself. That's why games like Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, what other ones,
There's tons and hundreds.
Galaga, Gradius,
there's hundreds.
Pac-Man. It's
hundreds.
all about challenging yourself.
The list is endless of games that are challenging.
Right.
The thing is like, he does make the argument in this. He's like, there's Game Genie back then, and there are cheats like up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, so, there are fucking, there's codes that can help you. There's things that can help you. But the thing is like, that to me is almost like a difficulty setting, which most games already offer.
Right.
Okay. And the thing about games like Dark Souls is like, they're only exclusionary to people who give up.
Right.
Like, that's it. Or people who don't care. Because, like, there's no problem just being like, I've seen footage of it, I don't like it, I don't want to play it.
Right.
Like, there's no problem with that, like, at all. But if you wanted to play it, and you started to play it, you could play it.
Yeah.
I promise you. Like, I'm nothing special. Like, Chubbs, we're not anything special. We've both beaten the game. We've both beaten Dark Souls 3, like, our buddy, and we're the type of dudes, like, when we first were playing it, like, when I first played Bloodborne, I had wished there was someone that I could summon. I remember trying, but the servers were so fucked back then that you could never get help.
Right.
So you ended up having to do the most of it just by yourself. I remember I got someone to come in on Vicar Amelia on my second playthrough. And that's the only time back then I mean, this is like, I think I beat it before they fixed the loading screens.
Right.
Okay. So, like, this is back when they were truly fucked. It just wasn't happening. But you'd ring it, and you'd be like, come on, and you wait, you go have a smoke, you come back, and you're just like, God, I guess I'm just going to learn how to get, beat this boss. I've already beaten him, but it was so fucking hard the first time. I kind of feel like I wish I could. Well, when you got the game, when you decided to play through the game, I helped you. Like, I played through it with you. Yeah. And then you played it eventually by yourself and did a completely solo playthrough all the way through the Chalice Dungeons. Because you wanted to see if you could do it. Yeah. But it was nice to have someone there to help you and kind of show you the ins and outs and like explain like this is what you want to do. And that's how we are. Like I did that with Ty. I played Dark Souls 3 through with Toxic and most of Bloodborne, but he's eventually just like you. He's beaten them all himself now. Yeah. He's beaten Dark Souls 3 by himself, just like Ty did after we helped Ty play through it. So it's these games aren't exclusionary to anyone but the consumer. Yeah. Like if you buy it and you don't want to play it anymore and you're like, it's not like the option of being able to skip bosses is what's keeping you from beating the game. Yeah. If that's what's keeping you from beating the game, then you have a problem because this is all about bettering yourself, getting better, mastering the game. And it's not about exclusionary. Anyone can fucking do this. Yeah. I'm telling you, anyone can pick up Dark Souls, play through Dark Souls. Okay, it's just at what point is your not wanting to do something new, not wanting to learn something new, not wanting to like look at guides, not wanting to look at walkthroughs if that's what it takes. Yeah. Which I did. I looked at walkthroughs a bunch of times. I had to look up walkthroughs for Cease Cave. I had to look up walkthroughs for a fucking huge portion of that game just because I didn't know what was going on or where I was going. That's not exclusionary. No. Google exists, like the wiki exists, Fextra Life exists, like all of these things exist. All the answers are there for you. There's no exclusionary force happening here. It's just us saying, as people who have completed the journey, regular fucking people that never fucking, just regular people, as someone who is able to complete these sorts of games, we're saying that having a skip boss fight will ruin you won't get the same feeling.
You're not gonna get the experience.
That's the
thing about this argument that he's pulling up is he's saying, well, you're saying you're an exclusionist, right? You don't want other people to experience what you've experienced.
That's basically what he's saying. Is anyone opposed to this idea? You're worried about letting in riffraff and all of this shit. It's like, no, fuck that. I love video games. Experience. I want everyone to play video games. This isn't about me wanting to keep anyone out of video games. I've been like people on the fucking Dean Takahashi video. Yeah. They were saying like, you're a fucking elitist. This just sounds like a fucking, like stay away from mine. No. Like what a gatekeeper. It's not that,
That's
dude.
Different.
That's completely different.
We're not going into games journalists because
we're not trying to attack this dude's credibility. I've never seen his gameplay. There's a difference though between someone saying they want to skip a boss in a hard game and someone who just can't make it over a fucking tutorial jump.
But this guy is like,
it's different. This guy though,
he's using like dirty
I can't even remember his name.
He's using what like journalists do nowadays, where like if you don't support him or his way of thinking, then you're wrong and you're an exclusionist.
Well, it's like if you're against Trump, then you're a crazy left person and you're fucking, a libtard and you're one of these fucking Antifa people. And
because
if you're
it's
against,
all fine now.
Yeah, and like if you're against Hillary, you're a white fucking nationalist. You're some hillbilly fuck who lives in the mountains and fucks his sister, and like they just do these extremes.
Because nobody thinks.
And it feeds into that fucking us versus them mentality that is just rampant. And he's doing it. He's definitely doing it. This isn't an article meant to bring more people into the fold. Right. Like this is him basically saying, if you don't support something that will completely destroy like the experience of games you love for people who will play it, like this isn't even like I won't press the button, right? I won't do it, okay? But if someone does it and I'm talking to them about this game, it's still gonna leave this thing like, it's like, I don't feel like you beat that game. Right. I don't feel like you should be able to, and it's not like I'm exclusionary. I want them to beat the game. I want them to play the game and, beat it. I'll help them if I can. I'll give them, good sites to go look up builds. I'll give them good, walkthroughs. I'll send them to a good fucking, Game Facts thread that I found that was pretty much an awesome walkthrough for my first play. And it's just, I'll direct you to help. Like, I'm not exclusion. I don't want anyone to not experience these amazing fucking games that are on offer here. I just want you to experience them.
Right. And I do understand, like, okay, the side of the argument about there are those assholes who do that. But he's, like, lumping everybody into that category. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, so if you don't support this in any way, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with that is, when you boil it down, the boss skip button is completely ruining the experience of games. And I'm sorry, but, if that is, like, not your niche of gaming, like, if you don't want to, take down bosses and challenge yourself, if you don't like Mario Brothers, if you don't like Legend of Zelda, if you don't like Dark Souls, if you don't like Assassin's Creed, if you don't like these games...
The thing is I'm not opposed to this thing in Assassin's Creed.
Right, because it's different.
I view it like the casual difficulty of Witcher 3.
And that's another example of how he takes it to the extreme, because it starts off with, like, just a journey mode type of thing.
Even someone who has less skill at video games, who is able to beat The Witcher 3, I bet you if you ask them, like, if you, instead of fighting those bosses on easy and, maybe dying a couple of times on the more extreme ones that you had to dodge a lot more of and things like that, would you prefer that you just skip it? I bet you those people, even at that skill level where they're not good enough to play it through on Death March, they don't have the patience, to learn the pacing or things like that, which I'm totally fine with. Like, because I love that game. I want everyone to play that game. It's a great fucking game.
Right.
But I bet you those people would even say, like, I'm glad I fought those bosses. Like, those bosses were cool.
Even if you played it on an easier difficulty because you're not very good at video games.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing. And, there are certain things in Dark Souls where people get pissed off and, there are things that you can do to make your life a lot easier in that game.
Yeah,
That's the thing, is there are things in these games that make it easier for you as the player. Like, for example, the boss skip fight button in Dark Souls is summoning.
Yeah, summon somebody.
Yeah.
Have a buddy come in and help you beat it. Or there's or an NPC.
Or random people. NPCs all over the place, but definitely just random people. And that's
having the second person there, unless you fuck up royally, you're going to be all right on the boss. Like, you're going to be able to handle it. But
that's the thing, is Assassin's Creed...
Plus, that makes you feel better because it's like, now we're playing this together and we're conquering it together. And it's like, but what if one of you was just like, oh, I skipped that. Like, I just put in this and I just skipped that boss. I said, fuck it. Like, I died 4 times on him and it said, do you want to skip this boss? And I just said, yeah, but now there's someone here and he's like, I can help you do it.
Yeah.
And now he can't do it anymore unless he beats the whole game. So then he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to skip all the bosses.
Right.
And it's just like, it's this fucking, it's a dumb idea.
But that's
the
fucking
thing dumb
with gaming in Origin. Is you're always going to be challenging yourself through the game. Think about it. Yeah. Mario Brothers, Gradius, Contra. You think about any, like, old school arcade games, that's the whole point, is you're playing a little blip or an icon that is having to fight through stages to advance to the next level. Okay? And so, like, I understand that, that might not be your type of thing. And that's why there's other sorts of niche gaming popping up. Telltale series.
Yeah, point-and-click adventures. Well, they've been around for quite a while. They were on the computer for days ago. I remember playing one,
and that's why
Beavis and Butthead one.
Right, and that's why I'm not opposed to, like, Assassin's Creed Origins doing this mode, because in reality, they are creating such a vast, beautiful world. They're creating old ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
And it's taking away all encounters. Yeah. There's no enemies.
Yeah, it's just to go and explore.
Right, but having a boss skip fight button, or like a boss fight skip button, like, what is the point in Mario? We saw how it happened when they did it in the newer Mario.
Yeah.
And what was it for? It was there for, like, little teeny kids who didn't want to, sit there and challenge themselves.
It was like the white Tanuki suit or something.
And so what is that teaching you? To not have patience, to not, like, try
to not
yourself.
Overcome the channel.
It's instant gratification. You're going to get that instant gratification, and that's not how you do things, because life isn't that way.
Life isn't easy.
It takes time. It takes work. You got to, like, figure it out. You got to think through it. You got to, like,
die and fuck up over and over and over
in games,
again.
it's like more about, you know, testing your reaction timing and like seeing what you would do in certain situations in RPGs and stuff like that. And so at what point do we say this could ruin gaming overall? Or do we just say be a smart consumer? Like, if you're clearly not into boss fight games, you know, go play something else.
What I would say to him is, as someone who likes combat-oriented games, as someone who likes boss fights, I would say to him, like, if this is what you want, then I want boss fights in Telltale games. And I don't mean just like tap, you know, 2 buttons in succession over and over again to run away from a monster or whatever. Like, I mean, like, put in a combat. I want Telltale games to be 3D action RPGs.
Right.
If that's what we're gonna play, like, you're gonna say that I'm exclusionary because the games that I prefer are difficult, you know, to learn a little bit, you know, take time to get into, you know, the boss fights. I really enjoy the boss fights. You're saying that all of that should just be nerfed to fucking goddamn, because if not, and if I disagree with that, I'm an exclusionary. Then I'd have to say to you, well, if you don't make your fucking Telltale games harder, if you don't make your fucking No Man's Skies harder, your walking sims of, you know, pretty things to look at,
Minecraft's harder.
if you don't make your games that you enjoy, your mobile apps, your clans of crushes and all that bullshit, if you don't make that all more my type, then I think you're being exclusionary with me. Like, because I do love video games, but when I play those games, I just don't like the game mechanics in them.
Right.
So, like, can I demand that you change all of the games that you enjoy and say that you should make them harder?
Right.
And if you disagree with me, you're exclusionary to me. And that's dumb. That's a dumb thing for me to say. That's a dumb fucking argument for me to have. And that's me dealing in dumb fucking area where there's only 2 fucking sides to this. Right. There's a line in the sand, and there's no reasonable middle ground, and there's no way that we can just have lower difficulty settings, or, you know, I don't even care about cheats. Give them cheats. Give them, you know, infinite ammo. Give them whatever they want. I mean, you can do that on the PC anyway most of the time with mods. I don't care about that. But don't force a developer like From Software that when you're on a difficult boss that's been causing you a little trouble, that they have to then have it be so that there's a skip boss fight because, you know, some game journalists and other people can't get into that game because they don't want to test themselves against that sort of difficulty and master it. That's dumb.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't say that anyone who thinks that there should be a difficulty an option in Dark Souls where maybe there's an easy mode where it starts you out with a higher stats and, like, you know, better weapons and shit like that, which you can do anyway. I mean, you can run out and get, like, shit right away that makes you OP. But I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't even be opposed to that. I wouldn't care. Like, if that was a mod that existed and someone that I knew who wanted to play Dark Souls but who had always struggled in it, I would propose they do it. Because in my eyes, eventually, just like when we helped Toxic beat it, when we helped Ty beat it, those dudes eventually wanted to play it through themselves and test themselves against it. And it was easier for them to do that because they had a guide.
Right.
You know, someone there that was with them kind of being like, all right, so, you know, this shit right here. And I would even let them get surprised by shit and die.
Oh, yeah.
Just because there's some shit in that game that I was like, dude, I'm not going to tell them that this is going to happen because it's fucking great. Like in the prison when you pick up that item and the fucking crazy... crazy bitch screams, dude, and it's like loud as fuck. I was playing it with Toxic and I didn't tell him that was gonna happen, dude. And I heard him, what the fuck, Jax? I was like, I can't spoil the jump scare because he loves horror games, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, there's ways to do it. I don't know. I'll let you finish this up.
You pretty much did. There's certain ways to do it that are okay, but to have a completely just skip the boss button is ludicrous.
And to say that if you are against that you're exclusionary and you just don't want people to enjoy video games, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, who are you to tell me how I feel and what I think? Like, I want everyone to play fucking Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I would recommend that game to fucking anyone. I would give them tips and guides and help them through it.
Right.
If they're a friend of mine and they've never played it and they wanted to play through it and we had the same system and the way to play it, I would play it through with them.
Right.
I did it with you with Dark Souls 1.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then you played through it in New Game Plus and beat it by yourself. And it's like that's the thing, like you don't understand. How dare you say that because I don't want one of the most fundamental experiences in games that challenge me and make me better, make me smarter, make me think quicker on my feet, give me that edge in this fight now that I know and like I've controlled my character, and give me that feeling of mastery over a certain boss or over a certain encounter, that should just be able to be skipped. That if I'm against that, I'm a fucking asshole who doesn't want people to play that game. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Go fucking sit on a fucking hat, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, who do you think you are that you're going to tell me what I think and that I don't want people to play games because I'm not opposed to these games getting fucked to the point where they're not even resembled games anymore? I mean, look at Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we get.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we get with the skip boss fight button. You want to skip bosses, go play Destiny.
Exactly.
They'll kill themselves.
And to end that, it's just be a smart consumer. You know, if you're not into that type of thing, maybe don't buy it.
Yeah, if you don't want it, don't buy it.
But, you know, don't let the asshole
That's the thing, like,
trolls...
I'm not bitching about Telltale games.
Yeah.
I never say, like, these games are weak or these games suck
because
or anything
you know
like that.
You're not gonna
because
enjoy
I just
it.
don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. I'm not going to talk shit on it. It's not, you know, it's like horror games. I do not like survival-based horror games. I fucking hate them. But I see why people like them. And I enjoy that people enjoy them. Because I'm happy that they're enjoying video games.
Yes.
Because I'm not an exclusionary asshole. Like, I feel like you are the exclusionary, dude. I think you're the one who wants everyone to fuck off. You're the one dealing in absolutes, bro.
It's like people who...
Just like Dark Thagan said in one of my comments, only Siths deal in absolutes. And yeah, I'm quoting Dark Thagan for that, because fuck whoever said it originally.
Siths?
I'm just kidding, it was Kenobi.
But still.
And then he fucked Anakin up, and the music was terrifying, and I had awful nightmares that night.
Yep.
So we're summing up this video with a quote from Dark Thagan. Only Sith deal in absolutes. So fuck you for saying that there's no middle ground to be had in this. There's no reasonable conversation to be had about difficulty levels and the benefit of those in games like The Witcher 3 that could appeal to anyone, like hardcore gamer or casual, you know, just wanting to get an experienced gamer. You know, like a Journey player. Like someone who only plays games like Journey because they're just an experience, you know what I mean? And there's nothing fucking wrong with that.
I played Journey.
I love fucking Journey. Journey's a great fucking game.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, like, I'm not opposed to these experience games, I just don't think that all games need to be that.
Yeah.
It's
I think
ludicrous.
that there needs to be a wide variety.
Alright, guys, so, in summation... We fucking love you guys. Thanks for listening for all this. We just wanted to do this video because we see this happen a lot. There's always this sort of extreme sort of sense that if you're against me, then you are this. And you think this.
Binary
and if you're with me, binary thinking. There you go.
It's just that's everything now. It's just binary. And they boil it down to these little sound bites and little things that can be turned into memes and GIFs, and it's fucking stupid. Fucking stupid. Welcome 2017. Here we go on 2018. I'm about to bust my nut.
Everyone else, we fucking love you. Stay awesome. Till
Be
next
smart.
time. Be smart and think for your fucking self, dude. Like, don't let anyone paint you into a box, but don't immediately paint them into a box either. Take their argument and say, this is why it's bullshit, and this is why you don't fucking say, like, don't fucking be that guy. Like, don't be that guy who deals in absolutes. Exactly. Don't be the guy who's like, this is the way it fucking is, and if you disagree with me, then you're this.
Exactly.
Like, if you think the game shouldn't fundamentally change, you know, and every single one of them should be a point-and-click adventure, then you are exclusionary and you don't think anyone else would enjoy video games the way, and they shouldn't enjoy them the way you do. Fuck you.